Hi, my name's Greg from TP Photography, and today I'm going to show you the various flash options you have for Sony now via godox. So godox is a very flexible system. You can see I've got them laid out on the table here. I've got the TT350S, which is the smallest one on the right there. Then I've got the V860S Mark II, the TT685, the AD200, and then the AD360. And then on the top there I've got my Sony A6300. I've got the X1TS trigger and the old trigger that fires stuff manually. It looks like sort of a walkie-talkie and a pocket wizard. You can use that on the older flashes, but you can also use it on the AD360. Now the reason that's quite useful sometimes is the whole godox system works on the 2.4 GHz system, which is great, has brilliant range. I'm actually making another video that shows you the range of various things, but anyway, the 433 MHz trigger is quite handy if the 2.4 GHz frequencies are very congested. So sometimes at a venue everyone's with wireless speakers and wireless lighting and things like that, so this can stop any interference from that. Now you can see the there's sort of nice bright LEDs on there. They come on when you turn them on. Broadly speaking, the TT350S is half the power of the V860s and the TT685, and the difference between the TT685 and the 860 is that the 860 is powered by lithium-ion batteries. So both are exactly the same power output, but in terms of recycling and longevity without having to change batteries, and the V860 is a bit of a win from that point of view. Now, it used to be the time where you'd mount several flash guns on a bracket to get a bit more power if you wanted that. Now we have the AD200, which gives you quite a bit more power than the sort of standard speed lights. And as you can see, it's not actually that much bigger, a little bit heavier, but it's got its own lithium-ion battery pack in there. Uses lots of full power chargers again. And then finally you've got the AD360 on the far left, which you can see me playing with there. That's a little bit more cumbersome. It's a bigger unit. It's got its own separate battery pack, but it is quite fast at recharging. Power wise, the AD360 and the AD200 are more or less the same. I say more or less because you can put the sort of studio style head that you see on the AD360 on the left there on the AD200, so you can have like a bare bulb style thing, and then the AD360 is, as you'd expect, a bit more powerful. But in the configuration you see there, and you can see me here sort of with the light meter, what you find is that the AD360 is actually less powerful than the AD200 with the flash head on, and that's simply because the flash head is sort of concentrating and zooming in the output, so you're getting more power sort of on your target, presumably as long as you're not wanting to fill a big softbox, in which case the AD360 will actually give you that little bit more power. But you can see there actually with the AD200 it's too powerful for the light meter that I've got there. So here I'm just showing you that you've got that range of things with godox now. You've got the 350s, the 685 style, the AD200, and then the AD360. There is actually even more powerful ones, but they start getting a bit more bulk in there, basically like studio heads with batteries in. Now, I find the AD200 360 is more than powerful enough, so I've not really felt the need to get separate ones for the battery, the sort of studio head style one, because I've already got some studio heads which I hardly use anymore at all. So that's quite a useful thing to know, and the beauty of this system is that these flash guns could work from Nikon, from Sony, from Panasonic, from Olympus, from Fuji, so any camera system you've got, you can use these things all independently. The only difference being with the AD360 that I have there, that's manual only. It will do high-speed sync, however, with the X1T triggers, but with the other ones they can all do TTL, and actually if you just change the X1 trigger, so if I put the X1 trigger on a Canon, or I put it on my Panasonic's, then with the relevant trigger I'll get TTL from the TTL capable speed lights. So I'm not tied into any one system. I don't have to buy a set of flashes for Panasonic, a set of flashes for Sony, a set of flashes for Canon, a set of flashes for Nikon. I can buy one complete set of system, and that lets me use these wherever I am, whatever camera I want to use, and whatever I want to light, basically. So it gives me that flexibility to change systems, different power. I quite like the the TT350S. Other versions are available, but it's quite handy in terms of it's quite small and light, and it lets me trigger things from on camera and have a flash on camera without it being too heavy and without having to mount another flash on top of a trigger, which I find quite helpful. Now you can see here I have also got sort of the top right, it looks a bit like a sort of LED panel, and that's actually something that I can change on this AD200. So here I am just changing the panel over. So you just slide that in. It's quite quick to change, and then you find you've got 3 levels of power. 0 is off, 1, 2 and 3, which gives you different power output. And here I am just sort of testing the sort of settings that I get when I put it on different powers. It's quite versatile to be able to do that when you're at a wedding or a shoot. You can just use it instead of having to have an LED lighting setup and a flash setup. You can just switch the head over. So that's something, another useful thing about the AD200, and another thing about the godox setup is that it is very flexible. So hopefully you found that useful. If you're just new to Sony, it's one of the most common questions of what flash do you use. Pretty much everyone seems to use these godox flashes, so hopefully that's given you sort of a brief overview of the different flashes that are available. I've got some other videos where I compare recycling speeds and things like that, and talk a little bit more about some of these flashes in depth. If you're interested about that, go and check those out. If not, then thanks for watching. You can see here I'm still playing with the different light levels. Obviously hard to get a feel for on the actual video, but hopefully you can see a little bit of the sort of different light settings there, and that'd be more than enough if you're using it, certainly the sort of places where you'd be using an LED panel at a wedding. So hopefully you found that useful. Got any comments or questions, then give me a shout below. As you can see here, shine it into the camera, try and give you an idea of brightness. Hopefully that's helpful. Thanks again, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.